Welcome back, folks. We got Jackson Hole done. We have JP setting the way for some major changes. And of course, you saw crypto pumping like there was no tomorrow. Welcome back. I'm Stockmo. We're here to talk shop. We're going to see what we can make out of all this discussion because right now, the Fed looking to cut rates, but when? Is it going to be September? Or are we only getting 2 rate cuts by the end of the year? Now, I got to warn everyone. The Fed has themselves said they're only looking to cut rates twice. When will that start? Or is the market ready for it to happen in September? Or what happens if it does not happen in September? We got some financial data still coming out. There's so much going on. And I know for those who are out there crushing it this week, it was a wild week. It was a wild week. You had the big absolute huge sell-off, absolute huge run, all this and more, and now a little bit of a sell-off again. So we're going to talk about XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, the big three, see what's happening out there, because man, this is something. And I got to tell you, what I'm seeing when it comes to the technicals doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy. It would have been real warm and fuzzy if I was all in with my Ethereum like I was, but I only had a little bit compared to the lot. Now, the good news, I'm still up a ton, and I made more on Friday. The bad news, we're starting to give it back over the weekend, and we need to discuss it all. For those that are not in the Discord, get over there. Don't wait. Thousands of members. My goal is to continue to share the education over there as well as here. If you want to see the expert traders, my 36 learning lessons, the portfolio, the breadbot charting, and all that and more, get in there with code LEARN. First link down below. Should be automatic, but LEARN, when you check out, will save you 50% off your first month. If you guys want to be in there for a year, you already know it. Just click this button. You save 15% off an annual pass. The other thing, we do have the webinar up and ready to go for today. It is an hour long. There is no cost. You guys can sign up for this right now. Get in there. Learn my 4-step framework for successful technical analysis. It is pure fire. It'll help you learn how to learn the technicals from a national champion teacher / coach. And then the last link down below, of course, I got my live teaching session on mastering the candle method. You want to know about candles? This is for beginners that want to learn technicals. I'm telling you, you are absolutely going to love this. We have limited spots left. Get in there now. Code, what do we got there? Code SAVE? Well, what do we got over here? Let me see what we got. Code SAVE. Yeah, code SAVE will save you 40% off right now. And like I said, we have Will's tomorrow and mine. So Will's doing crypto. I'm doing the technical with the candle method. I'm going to talk about the candles. This is for beginners. Get in there. You'll get access to a small community for 2 weeks. You'll have the live teaching session tomorrow. It's fire. So get in there. All right. Now, take a look at this. Now, the Fed has come out. Powell highlights job market worries. Open path to rate cut. And then you see this, and the markets just absolutely went bonkers, saying the Fed, for the first time in a long time, has talked dovish. The last time we had a meeting with Jay Powell, he came out, it was extremely hawkish. I don't know if he didn't have a cup of coffee that day or what, but man, he came out firing, and he was not a happy camper. I remember that, and the markets were not happy. Then just like a couple of weeks later, man, it is 180 degrees. Oh, we're open to rate cuts. Not, it's this, that, and the other thing. And I'm just shaking my head because what a difference 14 days make or whatever it was. It wasn't long. And now we're talking some major, major changes, which should be in the long term good for the stock market and crypto in general. You saw that pricing almost instantaneously. Now we go to what they are calling for in terms of the Fed cuts this year, and we only have a little bit left. We go to December. We have what, 3 meetings? Yeah, 3 meetings. They only have we'll say this, we're at 425. They only have about a 75% chance of 2 cuts or less. We have in other words, right now it's looking like 2 cuts. We have a 25% chance of 3 cuts. We have basically 75% chance of 2 cuts or less, 71 to 72% chance of 2 cuts or more. It is tough. In other words, we're about 50-50 on those 2 cuts. So we'll see how it goes. You guys can see what's going on. There's still a 3% chance of no cuts. Wow. Put that together. There's 27% chance of one cut. Wow. Or less. Man, it's something. So how's that affect everything? Well, so you see it. Let's go to the 5-day on this. So you see this right here. Massive pump. Everybody's thinking we're going to 130. I saw all the articles coming out. It was amazing after this pump. I conscientiously watch this. I just want you guys to be aware that you will see so much FOMO, FUD, all this and the other thing come out on a pump like this. And I did. I didn't see the article saying, hey, there's going to be pullback. There's going to be that. All it said was, hey, price for 200,000, price for this, price for that. And they were all higher. And it was all FOMO. And so I did not buy. I'm just watching, of course. I have my amount of crypto, which I'm comfortable with right now. It's roughly 6 figures worth. And I have no problem with that. So I enjoyed that little gain there. And of course, I had 7 figures. So that would have been a really nice gain. But I absolutely will continue to follow the technicals. And they have been pure fire for me. That's what got me up the $250,000 in those 6 weeks, following the technicals. When other people weren't buying, they were afraid, they were selling, I continued to hold, lock in a major win. Life-changing for me, life-changing. And for everyone who followed me, congratulations. It's always it's always when you look and you will take profit. And that's up to each person. Now, me, I follow the daily. If it confirms on the upside, I jump all back in. And I'm going to go over these charts here with you and show you what I'm talking about. But Bitcoin gets up to 117 base roughly, and now we're back down to 115. What happened? I thought everything was go, go, go. And then we go over to Ethereum. Ethereum over the last 5 days, we hit all the way up there, new all-time highs, 4877. Now we're down 150 bucks off of that. We go to XRP. What happened there? We got all the way up to 309, then we dropped down to 302. So doesn't quite make sense, but it does to me. Now, I'll tell you what I mean by that. So we go in, let's check out the daily candles because this is what is driving my decision making. So I'm going to clear this up for you so everybody can kind of see what I'm watching. This has a major catalyst right here. If this did not happen, if the Fed didn't save the day, this was easily, it was already down here. It was down to 276. This was doing exactly what I told you it was going to do. I told you it was going to bounce and hit 276.83. We got down to 278, and it was getting down to the 276. So we were 2 cents away from hitting my buy area. We didn't get it. And of course, the Fed came out, changed everything. Now, with that being said, you can see right here what is happening. We're having a little bit of and I said this yesterday with the big green candle, we're going to have a little bit of profit taking over the next day. What I am waiting for, and this is it, I got to be blunt. The next 2 candles are going to make up my mind what I'm doing. And this is easy for me. This is an easy read for me personally. I see what happened. I see the changing of the game from the Fed. So when it comes to XRP and the XRP price prediction and what I'm doing in my portfolio, I am looking at the news, the changing of everything, and now that's priced in. It's priced in. And the only thing that can go wrong is they don't cut 2 to 3 times. If that happened, you would see this fall more. If they cut 3 times, it's going to go through the roof. We don't know what's going to happen. Right now, they're expecting 2 cuts. Anything less, it's not good. Anything more, we run. So, following the candles, I told you I wanted to confirm above the 13 EMA. We are above the 5, but I want to confirm above this 13 and, more importantly, this zone at 306.83 or 306.63. If we can, and we just finished above there yesterday, if we could finish above there today, that's my confirmation, and I know we're going back up to 331. If we do not get up to this zone and confirm, that tells me that we're not out of the woods yet, that this was a nice pump, but we could come back down. What you do not want to see, if you're an XRP holder right now with me, is the 50 EMA taken out the wrong way. In other words, that is 294. If we confirm below 294, everything I was concerned about here comes back into play. You could see some downward pressure after profit taking on this for the swing traders. A lot of bears got toasted. They got toasted. I was reading about how many short positions absolutely got hammered. They got knocked out. They're gone. Their accounts wiped. It was absolutely crazy. And now, after that pump, you're wondering, are we going to see continuation of the bears getting absolutely smoked, or are we going to test back down? Obviously, it looked like we were going way down there. You could see this 296. Now it's pushed all the way back up to 302, and we wait. It's the waiting game. And at this particular moment in time on the minute chart, it's green. We're seeing some good things happening out there. And we'll bring that up to show you here. We're above the 50. And as long as we're above the 50, you're okay. You can see it continuing higher and higher and higher. And that's kind of what I'm watching for. What I don't want to see is the minute flip like it did here and then give up the 50 EMA. If it gives up the 50 EMA, this now turns into another bearish motion on the minute chart, and you start to scroll out to the further out, like 5 minutes and then 15 an hour, all that stuff and more. And that's kind of what I'm watching for. But on the daily chart, what's guiding my overall decision making, I am patiently waiting. Patiently waiting. Are we going to confirm back above here where I go long for this? Or are we going to push back down to here? Remember, I have two things I'm watching for. This line here for confirmation for me to buy, or this confirmation for me to get ready to buy down here. And so these are still the two things I am watching for. I do not have confirmation yet. I told you this way back here. That is what I'm waiting for, and that is what I'm waiting for. And so until I get the confirmation, I'm sitting here with a ton of dry powder ready to pounce, or I will continue to be a Buffett and sit here and just patiently let my dry powder increase in value. And when I finally get that perfect opportunity, I'll jump in. Now, when we get to Ethereum, the one that I believe will outperform everything, wow, is all I can say. And same situation here. I told you if we get above this line here, I absolutely thought we were going to skyrocket if we confirmed. If we drop below here, I thought we were going to tank big time. Now, this was yesterday. We got back above that line, but not a confirmation yet. So if this candle finishes higher, and it just might do that on tomorrow and Sunday or Monday, wow, it's time to just swallow the pride, take a nice position on this, and see how high this thing goes. If it does push back into this zone, I continue to watch. If we get the confirmation above, I would say basically, where are we at here? 48.35. I'd say above 48.35, then I'm going to feel all warm and fuzzy and be able to make that move. So this is what I'm watching for. If you guys want to follow along, like I said, get over to the Discord. First link down below, code LEARN. Get in there, join thousands of others before it expires. You only got a few more days left of that. Second link down below does get you into the webinar. Take advantage of that. The spots are open. Third link down below, over to WAP for my live teaching session of the candle method tomorrow. That is going to be absolutely lit, no pun intended. That's what I got for you today. I appreciate you stopping by. I will see you in the Discord.